Tinder is
good thing to meet some people if you're like bored.
Really random.
cop out for men.
It's the best social tool I've ever used.
Tinder is life.
It's confusing.
Interesting to see what guys can come up with to get in your pants.
An experience.
Tinder is where I met my boyfriend.
Tinder is booty call.
Dating's hard. Now, dating in New York City, that's a whole other animal. So after countless bar hopping, concert going, you name it, I've done it. I was finally led down the rabbit hole into the Tinder world. What came out of that world was nothing I ever thought I'd ever experience, and I couldn't help but think I cannot be the only person that has had this kind of experience on Tinder. Tinder is an app that allows you to swipe thousands and thousands of potential matches through a card deck and an algorithm, and maybe you'll fall in love or maybe you'll have sex.
What's the normal way to meet someone? You meet people in a bar. Like, that's how probably like 50% of people met before the online dating thing. I think that Tinder has definitely changed the way people think about like having that first initial meet. But on Tinder, the fear of rejection is so much lower. So I think it definitely makes it so much easier to just like put yourself out there. And just the internet in general just makes it so much easier to put yourself out there.
So this bears the question, has Tinder created a crazy disconnect between people by making them just a card out of a deck? Or has this made everything easier for everybody?
I'm very easy to get along with. I don't have that many deal breakers. But if you like Christina over Britney, I don't understand where you're coming from, what you did with your life, where were you in the early 2000s. You could find out like really important things about them, like do you wear fedoras? Because don't. Why are you wearing a fedora? And also you could find out if they're a singer, because like if they're a singer, you have to look at them for 3.5 minutes while they like look back at you, and that's just way too much for me, and I could never do that. Argyle. Why are you wearing Argyle? If you're like hairless, that's very weird to me. Have a job, like, don't be homeless. I definitely will swipe right if you have a dog in your picture with you. If you have a beard, if you look sane. Like, if you don't look like you don't kill people for a living. If your mom killed someone ever, I probably don't want to date you. Do you have uncles in jail? Why? What'd they do?
I joined Tinder after a long-term relationship because I had never really had the chance to date out of my own environment. And I was always in relationships with people I had already known prior. So I thought I need to explore like this whole new world of people because all I really knew was my high school and my own town. So I wasn't really sure what I was looking for. So I embarked on, I guess you could say, my Tinder adventure. I'd go on tons of dates with all types of guys just to hopefully kick in what or who I really wanted out of this. But along the way, I had so many different and crazy experiences, my reason for being on the app became more so to gather other stories. And I want to know what other stories other people had about Tinder. What do Tinder users think dating is? And most importantly, what are they looking for on Tinder?
Dating for me up until now has been, I'd like to say I'm a picky person, I guess. So it's been kind of like sparse when I was younger. I dated around a little bit, but then I got into a serious relationship a year ago. So I was with him for a year, and actually I recently just broke up with him, so. I'm very skeptical about joining Tinder. I always thought of it as like maybe like sliding through the DMs, but more in a more like account version form of that. I decided to join Tinder because I wanted to have a more open mindset about stuff like that because everything's social media nowadays, so I figure like not every creep's gonna be on Tinder, and I thought like, hey, I'm free now, so might as well just dive right into it. On Tinder, I hope to find not necessarily like love, true love out of it, but I really like meeting new people, and that's something that's kind of hard to do, I feel.
I think dating for me is just, meeting new people, and one of the reasons that I like Tinder so much is I meet people outside of the normal walks of life, that I normally would. So I thought about joining Tinder after I got out of my only relationship, which was end of 2012, and now so it's been a few years. I don't know. I think that the entire time I've been on Tinder, I never really had any expectations or goals necessarily. Now I'm a very free-spirited, open-minded guy, so I'm kind of open to whatever comes my way.
Dating, I think, is getting to know someone. It's going on dates, doing cute little things here and there. I joined Tinder because I had just come out and I didn't know a single person. I was looking for a boyfriend. I really am not into like hookup culture and all of that, and there's a lot of hookup apps for gay men, and Tinder is very different than that, so that's why I was using Tinder.
So through countless swipes and endless dates and crazy experiences, I became the honorary Tinderella amongst my own friend group. I needed answers, and I needed to identify with my fellow Tinderers and really just find out what their experiences were as well. I'll be following their journeys from all stages. A newbie, a serial Tinderer, a couple that even found love from Tinder.
Yeah, I totally remember messaging you and getting no response for like a month.
Well, it's quite hard to get.
Oh, okay, that's what that was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then you were like, oh, sorry, I've been going through a lot. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
And then we met up the next day.
And that was fun. And then you came back the next week, and the next week, and the next week.
And now we live together.
I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really used it to, just go out there and like hook up with random people, because it's not really my thing.
Okay, so we had a Tinder party, and some of us didn't even have Tinder, so we downloaded the app and we just swiped through a bunch of guys, and we would like show each other the guys we thought were
like
cute.
what should we say back? Just like messing around. It's so fun. Honestly, get your girlfriends
so
and have a
much
Tinder
fun.
party.
It varies, so could be talking to a bot, you could be talking to a person, or you could somehow find one of your college classmates by accident.
My dating experience in New York is very tethered to Tinder. I guess I have like over 4,300 plus matches, and of that, I have 221 people in my contacts where their last name is Tinder. So that means at least 220 people I've like got their numbers. I sort of arrived at the point of being a guru just out of experience. Having gone on so many dates, having met so many people, I've kind of seen what works and what doesn't work.
Guys are misogynistic and think that women on Tinder are just down to fuck, but I don't think that's true.
My friends convinced me to do it.
Yeah, it was like, oh, let's go on, let's see who's on there, but then we ended up,
I ended up meeting him, and we had a lot of the same interests, like
anime.
Yeah, anime especially. That's one thing that we kind of noticed. And I was like, it might be. I thought it was gonna be like I was a little sketched out at first, you know what I mean? But it ended up being really cool.
I want to see what would happen when I introduce a Tinder guru to a person who has never used Tinder before.
If someone classified themselves as a Tinder guru, I would allow them to make my profile because they earned the title guru in the first place, right? They must be doing something right, so yes, I would definitely let them.
A guy's perspective,
Right.
like if I saw your profile, like I said, definitely right swipe for sure. Maybe super like if I have any. But there's nothing here to like go off of, So we put like, where are you from? Queens, Killer Queens, born and raised, Hunter, 2016. And then like if you want to put like one like fun Lauren
One fun fact.
One thing to like throw me a bone. If I see your profile, give me something to like get it started,
Bucket list, go to India.
Cool.
I just couldn't help but wonder, how has Tinder changed dating?
For gay men in particular, Tinder is definitely the place you go for people who are looking for something more serious. Because there's Grindr, there's Scruff, there's a million of them for whatever you want. And Tinder is one where it's like, okay, like let's be normal humans, let's say hi to each other. Let's not just be like, like on the other apps it gets so disgusting, and like on Growler there's a function where you literally just woof at someone. Like you don't say, like we're down to just like sounds, like primal sounds at this point. Like forget about human interaction, we're just making noises at each other. So Tinder is definitely the place where you go for like, actually like, hey, like how are you,
I definitely think Tinder could be good for finding someone, you know, as your partner, but it also could be a fun place just to date too.
I'd say Tinder is the only way I would have met you, and for that I like Tinder.
I think Tinder is what you make of it. You know, it can be a spot for hookups, or it can be the place where you find, you know, your soulmate.
So, I guess Tinder is different for everybody, and you really can't put a label on it. Tinder is what you make of it.